And I just can't stress that enough. It's free money, folks. So you got to make sure you have your 401k set up to at least take the match that your employer is
Absolutely.
giving you.
Achieving financial success takes dedication, discipline, and most importantly, a plan. For over 30 years, Don Reynolds has helped savers define their needs, formulate their plans, and achieve their goals. From accumulation to preservation and protection, and through the income distribution phase in retirement, implementing the right strategies makes all the difference. Your retirement is our business. Welcome to Strategic Asset Preservation.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reynolds Draft. I'm Don Reynolds.
Corey Still here. Good day, everyone.
So we thought we'd talk about Labor Day because we know it's coming up here pretty quick. And so, you know, Labor Day is a celebration day of all of our hard work. It's not just a one-day event because obviously we've all been working for our careers, who knows, 30, 40, 50 years for some of us.
Yeah.
And so we just thought we'd talk a little bit about what's it really all about. Well, it's all about retirement. We work hard so we can plan and retire.
Absolutely.
And then play hard.
The fruits of the labor. So that's the true celebration behind it. And I think it was created way back in the early 1900s, 1913 or something like that. And, since then, again, it's been a one-day event, a holiday on the calendar where we get the day off from work and financial institutions are closed down and whatnot. But again, as Don mentioned, the key here is that when you look at labor force and you look at the years that you've put in for work, it's really about getting to that culmination of a retirement. And that can be very scary for most folks. It can be very daunting. You're kind of on that ledge and that edge, and you've got fears. Will I ever run out of money? What does it look like for my future for taxes? Income, things like that. And pensions are dwindling, folks. We heard a stat the other day that about 14% of Americans have a pension. That's it. So how do you prepare for retirement? How do you take the years that you've labored and you've done the work and then get into retirement with strength and stability and confidence?
That's for sure. It really boils down to, it comes back to what Corey just said, with 14% of people having pensions.
Yeah,
that means there's a lot of us who don't, and we have to plan and create our own pension.
absolutely.
And so that's about saving. We've talked about this in the past. We see many people who don't take advantage of free money in their 401ks when employers match. And I just can't stress that enough. It's free money, folks. So you got to make sure you have your 401k set up to at least take the match that your employer is giving you. If somebody gives me free money, I know I'm going to take it. So we just implore people, make sure you're checking that, make sure you're doing it. And then, make sure that you are saving outside of that too, because one thing we do know, if you're planning on retiring on Social Security alone, you're not going to retire. It's just not going to work. With inflation, as we all know, now hopefully that's getting in control and check here. But it's a real thing. It's always going to be there. It's averaged over 3% for the last 100 years, and I don't see that changing. And so you really have to take it to heart to really save and plan for your future. And that's what labor is all about. Labor Day gives us the one day off so we don't have to work.
Yeah. And that money you save, you want to make sure that it's working for you. If you go to our website at 800preserve.com, we've got different videos on there. One's called Lazy Money, and it's just a kind of a funny caricature video where it talks about money taking vacation and not working for you. You got to make sure that as you save, it's working for you, that it's growing, that you understand your risk tolerance, because that risk tolerance should perhaps change as you get closer to and through retirement. You want to make sure that you're preparing for income, as Don mentioned. I've said it many times in the show that ROI for most people means return on investment. When you get into and near that distribution phase in retirement, it really should stand for reliability of income, folks. That's what we're saving for. When we stop laboring, when we stop working and we don't get that W-2 check, we don't get that 1099 income anymore, you've got to have something that's going to provide income for you, as Don mentioned, on top of and beyond Social Security. And that depends upon your budget, your wishes, your desires in retirement, and your lifestyle that you lived up into that. You've got to make sure that you're going to want to, continue that lifestyle and perhaps even increase it. Every day is a Saturday once your retirement, so to speak. So you've got a lot of time off and a lot of time to go out to eat and do more activities. So you got to make sure that income is there for you.
Right. And, we kind of have a formula, if you will, to how to
Mhm.
replace yourself as the laborer, because obviously
Yep.
you, the laborer, is the earner.
Yep.
When you retire, now it's the money that becomes your labor. So
Yep.
the process, number one, and folks who have heard us at our workshops, I can't figure out how anybody can plan on retiring without a budget.
True.
You really need a budget first. That's goal one.
Yep.
And do that carefully. Make sure you're putting in realistic numbers for what you really want to do in retirement, what
Yep.
your budget really is.
Yep.
Number two is define your sources of income. So we know Social Security, so you
Mhm.
got to go out to SSA.gov and look at what your benefit's going to be at your full retirement age. And then look at maybe what delayed credits would be.
Yeah.
Then the third thing is with Social Security, what is my gap or my, if you will, loss of income, or not loss of income, that's not right, but
Shortfall or-
shortfall. Thank
Yeah.
you, Corey. That's the
Yeah.
right word.
Yeah.
So you have to know, okay, I've got my budget, I got this for Social Security,
Yep.
and I subtract that out, it still leaves me a number. That's the shortfall. That's
Mhm.
where you really have to plan. How are you going to get that gap fulfilled? And that's really where we come into play.
Mhm.
We have all the tools to produce income. And a lot of our programs that we use can have income that will increase over time to help you keep up with inflation.
Yeah.
So again, I guess what I'd say to you is when you get to this point, you can certainly give us a call and we're happy to share that. We'll do that, what we call a discovery meeting. There's no cost, no obligation for that.
Yep.
So really it's about income allocation. And that's something that we can really talk to you in depth about how it really works. So
Mhm.
it can produce income for you. So then you can have that celebration of labor for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So what I would recommend is give us a call at 651-773-3859. Again, that's 651-773-3859. We're happy to share our thoughts with you, look at your situation, because everybody's puzzles differently. And then we'll see what we can do to help you folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So enjoy a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Be safe, have some fun, get some R&R, rest and relaxation. That was a term I knew growing up, and it was always fun to have that.
Yeah.
So take care, folks. Have
Yeah.
a great Labor Day. Be safe. And again, give us a call as you look at potentially replacing your labor, as Don mentioned, with your assets, and how does that look for retirement?
Exactly. Well, with that, have a great Labor Day. Take good care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, folks.
Listen to more with Don Reynolds and Corey Still on the Strategic Asset Preservation Podcast by visiting 800preserve.com.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.